As you probably know, I've recently gotten into a game called Titanfall 2. This is all thanks to one of my good friends, Shank the Soda, who I refer to as Mr. Titanfall before I get shot. Anyways, if you don't know what Titanfall 2 is, it is a game where a super soldier takes control of a mech. Wrong game. Titanfall 2 is a game where a super soldier called a pilot takes control of a mech called a Titan. You're tasked with helping to take down the IMC from doing some bad things, but the Apex Predators, a group of pilots, get in your way. The pilot's gameplay is fast-paced and parkour-esque, while Titans are slow-paced mech fighting. That is a very undetailed explanation of the game, but I don't want to explain too much, because I'm about to explain why Titanfall 2 is a masterpiece. My biggest fear when playing this game was that the advanced mobility would be too complicated to work with. I thought Halo 5's advanced movement was enough for me, but I'm glad I was wrong. The advanced movement in Titanfall 2 is probably one of the best movement systems I've played with. The way it works is so satisfying, and there's a very clear skill gap in how a player uses it. What makes it better is that it is pretty easy to pick up on. When you first start out, a good 10 minutes in the gauntlet could get you pretty well used to how it all works. In this movement system, you have a bunch of base movements you can do. You can wall run, slide, and double jump. It may not sound like much, but oh boy, it really is a lot. If you know how and when to use these, you'd be as fast as someone who just downed 3 gallons of coffee while injecting their bloodstream with sugar. Not only that, but your movements in multiplayer can be complemented even more with the abilities like grapple hook and stim. A grapple hook is basically what it sounds like, a grapple hook, but with it you can move pretty fast so you cling onto a wall. It feels like Spider-Man, but more badass. There is also different ways you can swing on the grapple hook. It depends where you look, but depending on the direction you look in, you can change your whole angle. Let me show you how it all works. So with the grapple, as I said, depending where you look could change how your whole angle and everything is. Let me just show you that. So if I want to like grapple and just go straight, I just go directly towards it. I'm hanging on the wall. But if I do like a sideways movement, it will change the whole angle completely. You also see how I changed the double jump to that? That actually helped my movement a lot more to get more height. Apex players already know what this next one is. If you don't know what it is, I'm going to explain it. Stim is an ability where you inject yourself with... I actually don't know. Let me ask Mr. Titanfall himself. And we don't know. Anyways, for stim, you inject yourself with a magic substance that increases your speed dramatically for a short period of time. It isn't just running speed, it even changes your speed in general too. This can be used to get around way quicker than the average pilot. Now you can really feel like you just injected your bloodstream with sugar. Not only abilities complement your movement, some players throughout the game's time has found out new ways to keep momentum going. One example of this is bunny hopping or bee hopping. In order to bunny hop, you just gotta press and hold crouch immediately after jumping to keep that same rate of speed. Sliding constantly downwards keeps speed up, but forwards on a flat or sliding up surface will make you slow down unless you bee hop. Another example of keeping your momentum is jumping off a wall while wall running and going to another, or jumping back into the same wall. This will keep your speed, and constantly doing it will be very beneficial. Also, you gain your double jump once you hit another surface, so if you're out of that extra jump, just land on the ground or wall run. A third example of this is using grenades. This one's pretty simple. All you need to do is throw a grenade behind you, or throw it in front of you and run past it so explosive goes behind you, and then you'll be pushed forward. Many other games have something like this too. Intentional or not, it works really well. The mobility seems pretty fun, huh? Now let's get on to the real good part about this game, the campaign. Titanfall 2's campaign is very well made with a ton of effort clearly put into it. I will not mention any spoilers during this, because I genuinely want you to experience the campaign for yourself if you do decide to grab the game. If you do want me to do a full campaign review with spoilers, let me know down below. Now, what's a better way to start than from the look of the campaign itself? Let's get right into it. Each mission in the game has tons of significant differences from each other, and each mission doesn't play the same as the last. The diverse atmospheres in each mission are stunning, from a jungle to a plant that handles hazardous waste, a factory that builds something? I don't want to say everything you see. Not only that, but with a game from 2016, these graphics hold up pretty well. In the first actual mission, you drop right into a rocky, jungly area. The area is painted with detail: the tan rocks, the lush green foliage, the burning crashed ship, the dark blue winding river, the details everywhere. With the design itself, it is built with the mobility in mind. The paths you take ease in with all the wall running, double jumping, and sliding you're gonna do. Progressively through the campaign, some of the designs get more intense, like Mission 4 where there is a lot of moving platforms. Don't worry though, the game does teach you along the way, and when you're about the point where you're used to mobility, near the end you feel like a pro with multitasking wall running, shooting, switching walls, all that stuff. The Titan sections are great too. It feels like a massive all-out battle with everything going on around you, and the fact that you have a giant killing machine that's nearly unstoppable. With all the other loadouts at your disposal, it's up to you how you want to approach the fight. Would you use Brute, a rocket-based loadout, and take out several Titans with splash damage? Would you use Ronin, close range more hit and run style loadout, and pick off each Titan one by one? It's all up to you, and you progressively unlock more and more loadouts throughout the campaign. Throughout the campaign, you'll meet several different characters, both villains and heroes. Let me introduce you to them. The two main characters you have in this game are Jack Cooper and BT-7274. BT is a Vanguard class Titan. Not only that, but your Titan. He's reliable and always helps you get the job done. Cooper is, well, you. He's a rifleman for the militia that then becomes a pilot. The main group of villains you'll meet are the Apex Predators. They are all mercenaries working for the IMC. Some of these characters may seem pretty generic, but it fits pretty well in the game. Here are them as follows. First, you'll meet Kane, someone who did not invite you to their birthday party.
You were not invited to Kane's party, and that's why you're dead. Well, another runaway hero with an SRS Vanguard class Titan. Woo! Now we're talking. Bring it, knife to a knife fight.
Let's get this party started, scrub.
Next is Ash, a robot woman who likes to bring a sword to a gunfight.
Let's just put a high price on your head, pilot. Dead or alive, that makes you worth something to me.
There's Richter.
Care to have a real fight? Let's see what you got up close and personal. Oder willst du weglaufen, mein kleiner Junge?
Someone who, for some reason, likes to eat people's ears? Ugh, if you ever owned a restaurant, I would not go there. After him, you'll have Viper.
Voodoo 1, Viper's on station. Your journey ends here, pilot. The skies belong to me. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
He is the best Apex Predator, no contest. He should have been the main villain. I mean, just look at his armor. His Titan is so cool. And just listen to the way he talks.
Visual clear. I've got the tone.
Yeah, I got carried away there. Let's just move on. Now you're on to Sloan. Someone who claims to kill you for free, then immediately changes her mind.
You have your money, Blisk. Now go. My forces will take over from here.
That time they do something. I think our militia pilot's trying to be a hero. He's all yours. Keep the salvage.
Who said anything about salvage? I'll do this one for free. want to look at you? A pile of easy money.
Oh, dude, this one.
And finally, you have Blisk, a war criminal and someone who's the leader of the Apex Predators. A true villain who laughs dangerously and chuckles impressively.
I knew you shouldn't have eyed those tossers.
Oi, pilot. This is Cuban Blisk. You've been listening to us, eh? You want to be a hero, yeah? Okay. Keep coming at me. Keep coming. But if I were you, I'd stop trying so hard to be a hero. You'll live longer.
Each mercenary uses a different Titan, so it's not always ideal to use the same loadout to fight them. Some other good guys you meet in the campaign are Captain Lastimosa, a pilot who helps you out and shows you the ropes of being a pilot.
All done with the gauntlet?
I'm ready to see what's next.
Good. You're gonna like this. It's time you learn the other half of being a pilot. The Titan. Let's go call one in.
It's about time. I'm ready.
That's the spirit. But first, we're gonna need a little more space.
The 6-4, a group of pilots, David and Draws being the coolest, who are like the Apex Predators but at the top of the SRS.
Cooper, stand by. The 6-4 are coming aboard.
There are still anti-air cannons active on the deck of the Malta. They must be disabled from the bridge before we can approach.
We're on it. Nice work, Coop.
Just doing my job.
This guy. Commander Briggs, we'll also need your help.
Copy that, Bear. On my way.
There's also Sarah Briggs, the leader of the militia.
Marauder Corps, weapons hot. Stand by for Titanfall.
That's pretty much the bigger characters you meet in this campaign. There are a few others, but they aren't as important as these. Like in every good story, you're gonna have writing. Titanfall 2 has just that. Some might say the story is pretty generic, which it is just a tiny bit, but the dialogue makes it more special. Everything they say is the perfect delivery and tone. The dynamic between BT and Cooper is just perfect. Just watch just for a good idea.
Pilot, exercise caution.
You can say that again.
Pilot, exercise caution. Pilot, our paths will intersect just up ahead.
Missing me already?
I was not shooting at you. That would be in violation of Protocol 3.
Never mind.
The ability to choose what to say is such a small but fun detail for the game. Even though it does nothing to the story except add dialogue, it is still great. You can make some scenes funnier if you choose the right dialogue option. I also like the fact that enemy pilots trash talk you when they're fighting you in their Titan, and they seem really overconfident. Too bad they didn't get destroyed by you and BT.
Fighting down, my friend. Warning. Rubbish. I'll show you how to fight, militia. Come on, pilot. Don't you ever learn from your mistakes?
I'm not going to go too much into what is said because I want you all to experience it for yourself, but just know the dialogue in this game is pretty solid. The soundtrack of this game is exactly what it should be. Epic, intense, and sometimes moody. What I also like about it is the repetition of theme. Just like in Halo, you're going to hear similar parts in different tracks. Pretty neat because I think it helps establish a connection with the player, but that's probably a stretch. I'm no music guy, so I don't know how that works. Also, the songs played really increase the feeling. Just take a listen to some of these in the gameplay.
Nice of you to show up.
You're welcome.
Battleship Malta at 10 o'clock, guarding the Draconis. We can't get past it. Cooper, I need a pilot on board the Malta to secure the deck now.
Commander Briggs, this is Blackbird 6-4. We can get him there. BT, we need a fastball.
Happened to everyone here?
Their bodies have aged unusually. However, some show signs of weapon fire.
Hopefully Anderson's alive.
Anderson is a veteran SRS pilot. He has survived multiple covert missions within enemy territory. None of these remains match the genetic profile of Major Anderson. He may still be alive.
Nothing really much else to talk about the music other than how cool it is. Seth and Barton did an amazing job. As I just described, this campaign is amazing. I can guarantee at the end you will be wanting more. And again, if you want a more full, in-depth review of the campaign, let me know down below. Anyways, let's get on to the second half of this review, the multiplayer. The multiplayer in this game is also well made. It was clearly made with fun first in mind. Now let's get onto the details of the multiplayer, shall we? Once you get into the multiplayer, you'll be greeted with several different classes for both pilots and titans. It's best to try them all and see which one would be your favorite. Anyways, I'm going to teach the basics of each. I've explained grapple and sim previously at the beginning of this video, so we're going to skip to AWOL. AWOL is a pilot class where you can deploy a shield. It's a one-way shield, so you can shoot out of it, but it cannot be shot into. This class is great for people who like to play a more defensive playstyle. Phase Shift is a class where you can shift to a point where you cannot be attacked for a few seconds. It's great for hit and run playstyle, like Ronin. Cloak is just how it sounds, a cloak. It works just like how it does in the campaign, except it runs for a longer duration. Holopilot is a class where you summon a hologram of yourself. It will do the action you were doing when you pressed a button to bring out the hologram. You can have two holograms out at the same time, and Mirage mains, you're gonna have a field day with the Holopilot. Finally, we have Pulse Blade. With Pulse Blade, you have a throwable knife. When the knife lands, it does a sonar pulse that reveals all enemies in that area to you and your teammates. This is great for support. With Titans, it's a different story. First up, you have Ion, an energy-based Titan that is pretty easy to start out with. Scorch is after that, which is a pyrotechnical Titan. It's really good if you already have several counts of arson. Northstar is a sniper Titan. It may sound dumb, but oh boy, I love playing this class. If it's in the right hands, it is deadly. Just watch just to see why I love it.
Warning. Enemy pilot attacking. Enemy pilot destroyed.
You gotta play more careful with Northstar though, as it's the weakest Titan. Its health is shared with Ronin. Speaking of Ronin, Ronin is just like sing, 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 sing! And if that doesn't explain it, I'm not sure what else would. The infamous Tone. People hate Tone a lot because of how good people can get at it. It is a medium-range Titan with a 30mm cannon that can deploy a giant AWOL. It's honestly a pretty fun class if you ask me. Legion is the heavy weapons guy of Titanfall 2. If you like jumping in and spraying people down with a minigun, Legion's just for you. And finally, we have my personal favorite, Monarch. Monarch is a highly customizable Titan that can fit different roles, but it's mostly a support Titan. With my own build, I have it as a super aggressive playstyle. Just let me show you how aggressive it is. I hope I didn't bore you with all that information. Now into the good stuff, the game modes. The most popular out of all the modes is Attrition. It is a team deathmatch, but even better. It is a normal 6v6, but there's also enemy AI on the field. Each AI, player, and Titan kill will help increase the score for your team, but the score varies depending on who you killed. The first team to reach 650 points wins. Also, at the end of every match there is an evacuation sequence. If the player or players on the losing team escape on the dropship without getting killed, they get the same rewards as the winning team. If you're on the winning team, you're tasked with killing the enemy pilots or destroying the dropship. This is also present in most of the other game modes. Another really popular mode is Live Fire. It's a fast-paced, one-life, round-based mode. You win a round either by killing the entire enemy team or by holding the flag when the timer ends. It's also pilots only, so no Titans allowed. To contrast that, you also have Last Titan Standing. Similar to Live Fire, except it's only Titans and there is no flag to capture, just pure Titan destruction. Pilots vs. Pilots is really fun. It plays out exactly what it is like. Team deathmatch only as pilots. Titan Brawl is the same as Pilots vs. Pilots, both Titans. You cannot disembark or eject from your Titan, so make sure you play smart. The Coliseum is a small 1v1 arena where you and your opponent has the same loadout. Sometimes it can be pretty intense, while other times it could be easy. There's also other modes that I haven't played, like Bounty Hunt, Capture the Flag, and Amped Hardpoint. They seem fun though, so go check them out too. If you're getting tired of PvP multiplayer, Titanfall also has a PvE mode called Frontier Defense.
Alright kids, you ready for thrills, chills, and kills? Must you say that every time? Yes. Why yes, I must. Good luck, team!
The way Frontier Defense works is that it's wave-based. You have 5 waves to go through, each progressively getting harder. You also have a store you can use to buy items to help you out. Some of the better items are arc traps, turrets, and harvester shield boosts. You should always want these items with you. Arc traps are especially important because they can slow down enemies. Place them in choke points and you're set. Turrets are good to have, and it can really help out if you place them correctly. Harvester shield boosts are quite necessary, only really for teams struggling. That is because its function is to restore the Harvester's shield to 100% as soon as the button is pressed. You also have a certain amount of retries depending on the difficulty. I'm not going to go too in depth on what to do on Frontier Defense, but if you want me to make a video on it, let me know down below. It's overall a really fun mode if you like PvE modes. I recommend giving it a try. You want to know what I hate about these games? Loot boxes. You want to know what Titanfall 2 doesn't have? Loot boxes! Creators appreciate that this game came out at the peak of loot box monetization, and it didn't even opt in for some shitty monetized RNG system. The only monetization Titanfall 2 has are cosmetics that don't affect the game at all, and they're pretty cheap. It seems more of like a, hey, if you really like this game, buy these. Also, did I mention Titanfall 2 is published by EA, who's notorious for new loot boxes. Bravo, Respawn, for making a game focus more on fun than for the cash. As I just said, Titanfall 2 doesn't have some weird scheme for progression. The progression is set more on playtime. The more you play, the more weapons, skins, and all the like you'll unlock. Once you reach level 50, you'll gen up to become a next generation pilot. It resets everything, except for cosmetics and stuff like that. Becoming next gen for Titans and weapons work differently. If you gen up on a weapon, it will unlock more attachments and more weapon skins. Titans just unlock more skins. Not all skins for Pilot, Titan, and weapons are locked behind progression. A ton of skins can be bought with an in-game currency, or rewarded from Advocate gifts which you get through playing. The multiplayer is overall one of the better multiplayer experiences I've ever had. I've spent hours just playing it and having fun, and each team isn't the same as the last. You're definitely going to enjoy this game's multiplayer. I'm gonna be honest, I did not expect this game to be that good. It is really one of my top favorite games of all time. I highly recommend for you to go give it a try. It's free on Xbox Game Pass and is $30 on Steam, but frequently goes on sale and has its price go from $30 to $5. I'm not sure how much it costs on PlayStation, so go give that a look for a PlayStation player. If you got this far into the video, I want to thank you. It means a lot to me that you have stuck with this video the entire time. A ton of effort went into this video, like a lot more than my usual videos. I am trying something new with the game review type of video, so if you have any criticisms to give me on this, please tell me what to improve on. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Peace.
I'm feeling frosty in this bitch, got the chocolate tint. They wanna ask me how I spin, said it's all in the rims. I'm daydreaming about some shit that I'm fixing to get. Like all I want is some M's in the G-Wagon Benz. I'm feeling frosty in this bitch, got the chocolate tint. They wanna ask me how I spin, said it's all in the rims. I'm daydreaming about some shit that I'm fixing to get. Like all I want is some M's in the G-Wagon Benz. I get the posse the assist, hit the dish and they swish. I wonder I see in the crib where the posse can